How many of you here want to put out more content or want to put yourself out there more? What else stops you guys putting yourself out there or putting more content out there? So there's like a couple of beliefs here, right? The first belief is if I'm not consistent with it, then there's no point. Like if I'm not posting every day, then what's the point in posting at all? Which I think we have Gary Vee to blame for. And then there's a second belief, which is if it doesn't get loads of engagement and doesn't go viral, then maybe it's not valuable. And then there's a third belief, which is if it doesn't have fill in the blank, then it's not good enough. So if it doesn't have the right captions, or if it doesn't have the right structure, or if it doesn't have the whatever, then it's not good enough, right? For me, a game changer when it came to content and putting myself out there, whatever that means for you, whether it means getting more speaking engagements, whether it means posting more consistently on social media, whether it means starting a podcast, whatever it is, I realized all this stuff that I've also dealt with in terms of thinking like, well, other people are doing this, so why should I bother? Or, oh, my podcast isn't going to have this jazzy intro, or it's not going to have that, or maybe it's not good enough to be picked up, or whatever's going on in my head. I had a realization that all of that stuff was about me. All of that stuff was about me. Like, I'm not good enough. My work's not good enough. I'm not going to be able to be consistent. I don't have the right tools. I. And that's the problem. That is not what content is about. Putting yourself out there is not about you. It's about the people you want to serve. So one of my good friends, a guy called Mark LaRousse, he says that being influential is not about having the spotlight shined on you. It's about your ability to shine the spotlight on other people. So putting yourself out there, putting content out there is not about you. People don't actually care about you. They care about themselves. When you fully understand that, not just theoretically, but you're like, oh, I really get that. Like you feel it in your nervous system, then it's actually impossible to have these things stop you from putting yourself out there, because you realize that every time you entertain one of these thoughts or these ideas, every time you let this stop you from putting yourself out there, you are being selfish. You're being selfish. Every minute that Ethan sits there thinking he's not good enough or his content is not good enough, he's being selfish. Every minute that Joshua sits there and worries that he's gonna run out of ideas or is worried what other people think, he's being selfish. Because the content isn't about you. And when you get really aligned with the people that you want to help, with the problems that you want to solve, and you dedicate yourself to that, none of this stuff matters, right? Because it doesn't matter if you put a post out there and no one responds to it, because it's not about you, it's about them. So that's just a data point. That's just a data point that tells you that that particular thing didn't resonate with the people. And so you need to change something. It doesn't matter if you put something out there and there's a spelling mistake or it's not quite good or someone says they don't like it, because that's just a data point. That's just feedback. Content is about the people that you want to serve. Content is about the problems that you want to solve. And every time you put yourself in front of that, you're being selfish. So just notice, just try and see, next time that comes up, just really notice that for yourself and just sit with that feeling and ask yourself, am I willing to put myself and my thoughts and my fears and my worries in front of the people that I want to help? Am I willing to be that person? And if the answer is yes, then maybe you're not supposed to be creating content. Maybe you're not supposed to be putting yourself out there. But if the answer is no, then you just have to do it anyway.